All right, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to give you a whirlwind tour of Focalboard and where the product is today. So for all things Focalboard, head over to focalboard.com where you can find links to the downloads as well as our GitHub repo. There are two editions that you can download today: Focalboard Personal Desktop, which is a standalone desktop app for Mac, Windows, and Linux, and Focalboard Personal Server, which is a self-hosted server that you can use with your team. But today, I'm going to demo something that's coming up next, which is Mattermost Focalboard. That is Focalboard integrated with Mattermost. So if you head over to the community server for Mattermost, so community.mattermost.com, and create a free account or log in if you already have an account, and open any channel, you'll notice that there's a new Focalboard workspace button in the channel header. By clicking that button, you'll open the associated Focalboard workspace for that channel. And the way it works is that only members of that channel can view this workspace. So you can use this with public channels, private channels, and also direct message channels. So you can direct message yourself and just create a personal workspace just for yourself. So from this point out, once you enter the Focalboard workspace, this functionality is exactly the same, even if you're using personal desktop or personal server. So the first thing you want to do when you enter Focalboard is create a new board. And you can do that by clicking on the Add Board button on the lower left. This shows a list of built-in templates, as well as any additional templates that you create for boards. So I suggest picking something like Project Tasks to start, and clicking on a template creates a board using that template. So let me click on the board view for that new focal board that was created. So a board has multiple views in this case. So this particular board has 3 views, a table view and 2 board views that I'll go through in a second. So this is what the board view looks like. A board is a set of cards that are laid out in different columns and are grouped by a particular property. So in this case, this board are cards grouped by the status of those cards. This other board that's created by default from the template are the same cards that are grouped by priority. So let me go back to the board with the cards grouped by status. So you can do the things that you expect to do. I can drag a card between columns to change the status of that card. So I can say that this card is now in progress, for example. I can also click here to choose what properties to show on the card in this board view. So for example, here I want to show the priority, let's say, as well as the date created. I can change the group by property to use for this particular view. So I can change it to priority, which now makes it the same as the other view. I can also hit Command Z or Control Z on Windows to undo any actions. And there's a complete stack of a full undo redo stack in Focalboard. I can also set a filter for the cards. So in this case, I can choose to only show cards that are, let's say, high priority, and that will filter cards with just that set. So let me delete that to go back and show all the cards. And of course, I can choose to sort this by different properties. I can say sort this by date created, for example. In this case, those cards are already in that order, so it doesn't change. Or I can choose manual sort order, which allows me to manually drag the order of the cards within columns. And I can search for individual cards using full text search. Right now, the full text search is just for the titles, but this will eventually expand to all the properties of the cards. One advanced feature of the board, and like I mentioned, it's only accessible by default to the members of the associated channel. However, you can share this board publicly by clicking on the Share Board option in the menu. By turning this on, I get a special link with a token that I can post anywhere, and anyone with this link will be able to have a read-only view of this board. And this is very handy for things like public roadmaps or public status boards. You can click on a card to open the card editor, and this is what that looks like. So cards have a title, so let's call this My Task, and an associated icon that you can remove if you want to. But this is very handy for giving cards an immediately recognizable graphic that you can use to tell different cards apart. Each card has a set of properties that you saw in the board view. So in this case, it has a status and priority property. I can change that directly in the card, which is analogous to dragging the card to a different column in the board view. I can, of course, add additional properties. So let's go ahead and try to add an estimate property here. So let's call this estimate, hit enter to set the name. And I can choose the type of this property. We support basic types right now. So text, number, email, URLs, and the select property, which you saw before, which is used to group cards by different columns, as well as the created and updated time. So I'm going to set this to the number property for now. And this lets me do something like set the number 8 to say that this task will take me an estimated 8 hours. Each card also has a comment list. So anyone can comment on a card. So this is an important task, let's say, and I can comment on my own cards as well as comment on cards by other folks. Cards also have a set of content, or what we call content blocks at the bottom. By default, the initial content block is a set of markdown text. So this is just markdown, and you can use any of the standard markdown formatting options, so bold, etc. You can also create lists, 2, 3, and so on. I can click here to add additional content blocks. So I can add additional blocks of markdown. I can add images, dividers, as well as checkboxes. Checkboxes in particular are really cool for subtasks. So let me add a subtask 1, let's just say. Call this subtask 2. And this is very handy. So as I work through my task, I can check off these subtasks. And when I'm done, I can then mark the task complete. So that's a quick tour of cards. One advanced feature I want to demonstrate now is the ability to create templates or card templates. You can create templates for both cards and boards. So this is the ability to create a template from a card. So I can either create a template from scratch, or more easily, I can set up the template the way I want. And I can just say, create a new template from a card. And let's call this a task item, let's say. And then I think by default, it probably should be, next up. And let's just set the priority to medium and maybe uncheck these subtasks for now. So, normally I would set this up the way I want it. And when I'm done, simply close it. And now when I add a new card from this drop-down menu, I can now pick that template, and that will create a card using that template rather than, forcing me to start from scratch. So this is a very easy way to create templates for cards. And there's a similar mechanism for creating templates for boards. So that's the card view. Next, let me show you the table view. So the same set of cards can be shown in a table, and it works kind of the way you expect with columns. I can click on a column to sort them. I can add additional columns, hide columns, etc. The third view that we have in Focalboard right now is called the gallery view. So this particular template doesn't have a gallery view by default, but I can easily add one by just saying add view and picking gallery from the type of view. And the gallery view normally shows the image, if there is one, of that card as the thumbnail. If there isn't an image, it shows the contents of the card, the markdown content in this case, as a preview in a large tile on the board view. So I've actually set this up over here separately. So this is a board with cards that already have images, and I can drag the tiles around to rearrange them. I can open a card and edit the image here, or add a new image and move them around to change the image, and so on. So that's gallery view. And that's a quick tour of the basic features in Focalboard. Let me just point out a couple other additional things. So in the settings menu, you'll find a bunch of settings of, as you might expect. You can change the theme. In addition to the default theme, we also support a dark theme. You can also change the language. We have 10 languages in the product right now, and you can add more by going to our translation server and contributing a new language. And let me change this back to English real quick. And in addition, the last thing I want to quickly point out is the ability to export the archive. So by clicking this button here, with one click, I can export all the boards in this workspace into a single archive file that I can then import into a separate server. The one thing I would note is the archive only contains the metadata for the cards. It doesn't contain the image data right now, but that's something we'll work on in the future. So that's a very quick way to back up and restore important data. And that's it. That's a very, very quick whirlwind tour of the basic features in Focalboard today. So go check it out at focalboard.com. Thank you.